Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Puteri NAJIHAH.
My name is Sarah MADIHA.
My name is SAKINAH.
And my name is Tun AINUR HIDAYAH.
So today we would like to present about the vulnerability assessment to we choose Nexpose to present for our assignment. So first of all, I would like to brief description about Nexpose. So basically, Nexpose is developed by software company which is like Rapid7. This software is to help organization to identify, assess, and fix security weakness across their IT infrastructure. So basically, Nexpose use advanced scanning technique to uncover vulnerabilities, misconfiguration, and potential threats within networks, application, and endpoint. So Nexpose is the best vulnerability scanner for organization to avoid cyber threats and protect their asset from data breach and other security incidents. So for the key features, we have 4. For the first one is real risk score, which is like to identify vulnerabilities that most likely to use in attack by assigning risk scores. So it's like consider exploitability, potential impact, and asset critically. So it have to prioritize the system that most critical issues. So the second one is adaptive security. Nexpose detect new device and vulnerabilities the moment they enter the network, which is like Nexpose will detect if a new device enter the network. So the third one is remediation reporting, which is like this report include top 25 actions that have instruction and how to reduce the mostly and what action can be taken to what to do. So the last part is policy assessment, which is like provide policy scanning to help benchmark system against security standard like Center for Internet Security, which is CIS, and National Institute of Standard and Technology, which is NIST. So for the supported platform, there's for the operating system, there's like a basic Windows, Linux, Red Hat, and CentOS. So for the network protocol, IP address of host machine should be statically assigned because it used to access security console web interface. So basically, Nexpose use default port 3780 and there's others port which is like port 40814 to manage of scan activity on scan engines and retrieval of scan data. For port 443 to upload of PGP encrypted diagnostic information. So for the database type, there's a lot of database that can use for this Nexpose, which is like SQL, Oracle. There's a lot here. And then like, okay, this one is how to set up and deploy the tool. So there's a few prerequisites before install, which is like the first one, firewall requirements. So you must configure your firewall rules to allow security console to make outbound connectivity using port 443. So for the memory, for host machine have minimum of 16 gigabytes RAM for basic deployment only. For the disk space, for the basic deployment, the host machine should have minimum 80 gigabytes or 100 gigabyte of free storage to accommodate future scan data and report. The how to set up, this how to install, which is just type Nexpose install and then choose this website. Just click either you use Linux or Windows, and then after that just wait the software to be installed, to be download, and then after that after download, this interface will pop up and just wait until the finish loading, and And after that, just click the next button, and then this one, use this default button, radio button, which is security console with local scan engine. Choose this one, and then don't forget to change or just change your destination directory, and then next. But if you don't have enough storage to install, this pop-up menu will appear, and then you can just change your directory, something like that. For this one will appear. So for database part, you can change based on this one. For 5432 is for database, and 3780 for console access, which is like default port for Nexpose. After you click the next, this like you need to register create your account information. Just enter your information, and after that, just wait for the Nexpose extract your files, and then after that, finish installation is complete. You finish the software, you can use it. So after that, this menu will appear. Just say yes for this one, and then you just wait for the security consoles to like initialize something, progress. And after the installation is complete, you can log in, and this web interface will appear. So that's how Nexpose, how to download. So this one is like example of the Nexpose interface. That's all for me.
Okay, now I will guide you the process of using Nexpose. So we already configured, ran, and analyzed the scan, but don't worry about reading all this now. I will walk you through each step in detail right away. Okay, so first we access the Nexpose web interface through a browser and log in with our credentials. Okay, so to begin, we navigate to create site here to define our scan target. Okay, so here we enter name, for example, vulnerability scan. Then we click create. Navigate to the assets. And then you need to provide your IP address. So here in my window host, I will use this IP address as my assets. And then in the scanning, make sure you need to click on the full audit. And then after all the setup, click save and scan. So then Nexpose begin analyzing the system for vulnerabilities. It might take a while. Now it's done. The scan took about 12 minutes to complete. During this time, Nexpose check for open ports, misconfigurations, and non-vulnerability across service line, SMB, RPCMO. So this is how you use Nexpose Rapid 7 to scan vulnerability. Okay, next I will be presenting the findings from our recent vulnerability assessment using Nexpose. So our scan identified one severe vulnerability that requires attention. This issue is labeled as MB version 2, signing not required, with a risk score of 395, classified as severe. This affects the Windows host at 192.168.56.1, specifically targeting its CIFS or SMB service running on TCP port 4045. So now let me explain what this vulnerability means. SMB-v2 server message block is the protocol Windows uses for file sharing and network communications. While the system has signing capability enabled, it doesn't enforce it. This is like having a security system installed but leaving your front door unlocked. In practical terms, this configuration weakness means that any data transmitted via SMB, including file shares and authentication details, lacks proper integrity checks. This makes the communication vulnerable to tampering by malicious actors on the same network. So Nexpose Rapid 7 confirmed this vulnerability through specific configuration findings. The tool detects that SMB v2 is active with SMB to enable set to true, while signing is technically possible with SMB2 signing showing as enabled. It's not being enforced as required. Beyond this server vulnerability, our scan revealed several other services running on the host, including CIFS, Common Internet File System, RPC, Remote Procedure Call, NTP, Network Time Protocol, and MDNS, Multicast Domain Name System. However, none of these showed any exploitable flaws. Interestingly, the scan couldn't definitively identify the operating system, which was listed as unknown in our result. While we didn't find any critical vulnerability, this SMB-v2 signing issue represents a significant security gap in enterprise environments. Such a vulnerability could serve as an entry point for attackers to intercept or manipulate sensitive data transfers. So to summarize, our Nexpose Rapid 7 assessment identified one severe vulnerability in SMB-v2 configuration that requires remediation. So I will now hand over to next presenter who will discuss the potential impact and recommend solution for this issue. Thank you for your attention.
So I will explain about the potential impact of the identified vulnerability, which is the SMB version 2. So first potential impact is man in the middle MIT attack. So when SMB assigning is not enforced, it creates an opportunity for attackers to perform MITM attacks on the network. In this type of attack, a malicious actor can intercept and modify the data being transferred between two systems without either party noticing. Since the SMB protocol is used for file sharing, authentication, and also communication between systems, an attacker who positions themselves between the client and server can change SMB responses, insert malicious commands, or obtain private data like credentials. Second is impersonation attacks. Unsigned SMB traffic is vulnerable to impersonation or spoofing attack, where an attacker can forge SMB messages to seem as a genuine user or server. This means an attacker could send false responses to SMB requests and pretending to be a trusted server. Credential disclosure, illegal file access, or additional system compromise may result from this. The third one is data integrity risk. The SMB signing is intended to ensure the data integrity by validating that each SMB message has not been altered. Attackers have the ability to secretly alter commands, data, or configurations while they are transferred between the client and the server. This compromises the reliability of data and can lead to hidden threats like file-based malware or data corruption. The last one is internal lateral movement. An attacker frequently tries to shift laterally to other systems in order to obtain deeper control or reach higher value targets after first gaining access to a network, possibly by phishing or by taking advantage of other vulnerability. Attackers can easily use SMB-based communication to spread over the network when SMB signature is not enforced. They might impersonate users, relay SMB authentication tokens, or use the pass the hash techniques to access the system. In business setting, where SMB is widely used for file sharing and system administration, this type of movement is particularly risky since it gives hackers the ability to obtain administrative access, steal confidential information, or even spread ransomware throughout the entire company. Next. So here are the recommendations for remediation. The first one is enforce SMB signing where needed, which is enable signing on both clients and servers to protect against tampering and impersonation. Second one is use group policy to manage setting, which is to ensure that security settings like SMB signing are applied correctly, consistently, and can't be bypassed, which is essential for securing a large or sensitive network environment. Next is avoid SMB version 1 because it is outdated and should be disabled entirely, as it doesn't support secure features like signing or encryption. And for best practices, we can regularly update system, which is keep system and software up to date with the latest security patches. Next is network segmentation, which is isolate critical system and data to limit the impact of the potential breaches. The third one is penetration testing, which is conduct regular penetration testing to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses. And the last one is vulnerability scanning, which is regularly scan your network for vulnerabilities like SMB signing disabled. That's all from me.
So now I will explain for the comparison. So we choose Nexpose as our tools, and I choose to compare is IBM Guardium. So for Nexpose, the strength for Nexpose is comprehensive vulnerability scanning, which is detects a wide range of vulnerabilities in database, apps, networks, and system, including cloud, virtual, and physical. The second one is automatic asset detection, which the system identifies new devices or system as soon as they connect to the network, ensuring nothing is missed. The third one is security and compliance checks. It can check if the system follow important security rules and standards like CIS and NIST. The fourth one is works with Metasploit, which is it connects with a tool that helps determine whether a vulnerability can be used by hackers, minimizing false alarms and indicating real risk. And the last one is Smart Risk Ranking, which employs a unique real risk score to rank issues according to their level of danger. So that it is importance to affect the system and the likelihood that hackers will target it. So for the weakness, Nexpose lacks of attention to the data security, which it means like it lacks of sophisticated features like monitoring who is accessing the data, concealing private information, or managing access. And the second one, it doesn't assess sensitivity to the data, which it focuses primarily on technical issues rather than the significance of sensitivity of the data itself. And the third one is reporting confusion, which some users find it challenging to determine which device IPs are connected to which system and the precise location of the issues. And the last one is no testing for external attacks, which it doesn't automatically examine how your system appears to a hacker observing it from outside of your networks. Next, IBM Guardium. The strength is it's a complete data security, which it protects database in several ways, such as finding weakness, tracking user activity, marking sensitive data, hiding or encrypting it, controlling access, and keeping records of all actions. The second one is watches in real time. So it monitors database inactivity in real time. It can quickly detect odd behavior or insider threats. And also excellent for compliance, which is by automating checks and providing transparent reports for audits. It assists business in adhering to data protection regulation. The fourth one is find sensitive data. It automatically finds and labels sensitive or important information, making it simpler to protect the appropriate data. And the last one is detailed access control, which enables administrators to establish precise rules, identify users with excessive access, and strictly regulate who has the access to certain system lah. So for the weakness, limited in some data protection areas, which it falls short in advanced data loss prevention, which is DLP, such as checking query result or taking action based on the data itself. And the second one is it's quite expensive. So purchasing the license, setting up the necessary system, and keeping it everything running can be costly. It can be quite costly for small businesses. And then the third one, it may reduce performance because of the database performance may be impacted by continuous monitoring, particularly if there is a high activity and improper setup. And upgrades can be difficult because of updating software or hardware can be complicated, and it might require reinstalling the system or the app itself. And the last one is hard to learn and use because setting it up and managing it can be difficult. So usually it needs special training or skills to use it properly. Next. So for recommended tools for small business, I recommended Nexpose because it is cost effective. Small businesses often have a budget constraint, which Nexpose is not the cheapest solution or not the cheapest option, but it is generally offers more flexible pricing models that might be more accessible for smaller organization. It also ease of use and implementation. Nexpose is generally considered easier to deploy, configure, and manage, requiring less specialized expertise than IBM Guardium. Also have broad vulnerability coverage, which provides strong vulnerability scanning capabilities across their networks, server, workstation, and potentially cloud asset, offering a good security baseline. And also as prioritization, the real risk score helps a small terms focus their limit resources on addressing the most critical vulnerabilities first. Next. For a larger enterprise, I recommended the IBM Guardium because of comprehensive data security, which a larger enterprise typically manage a larger amount of sensitive data and face complex regulatory landscape. Guardium robust activity data monitoring, data discovery, classification, data protection, and access control features are essential for securing this data. And then strong compliance and audit capabilities. Larger companies often have to follow many rules like GDPR, SOX, PIC, DSS. Guardium helps by automating audits, providing a ready-made template, and making reports easier, which save times and effort. And then scalability for complex environment. Guardium is designed to handle the scale and complexity of a larger enterprise IT infrastructures, including diverse database system and data scores. And then the advanced threat detection, which are the anomaly detection and analytics capability in Guardium can help identify sophisticated insider threats and data breach that might be missed by vulnerability scanners alone. And then the integration with enterprise ecosystem. Guardium is built to integrate with other enterprise security and compliance tools fitting into a larger security architecture. Next. So for the last one is recommended tool for cloud environment. So for cloud environments, it depends on the specific needs and cloud adoption strategy. So there are two scenarios here. First, for the first one, if it's primarily focused on infrastructure and application vulnerabilities in the cloud, Nexpose is the best option, because Nexpose scans cloud assets, containers, and serverless app. It integrates with AWS, Azure, and GCP, and prioritize risk in dynamic environment. And then the second scenario is when heavily focused on the data security and compliance with cloud database and data services. IBM Guardian is the choice because IBM Guardian monitors data, finds sensitive information, controls access, and ensures compliance in cloud database. It also supports many cloud platforms. That's all from me. Thank you. That's all from us.